Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Mark Castillo on the line, and he's an office managing partner over at Thrive Wealth Solutions. Mark, welcome back to the show. Today is a very special 2020 reunion. Glad to talk to you again.
Well, thank you for having me back on and providing some, valuable information to a lot of listeners out there. I think more and more people need to know about the information that we've attained and we're willing to share with a lot of the listeners out there.
That's awesome. And speaking of that, so today's topic is going to be a proper corporate structuring. But before we get into that, we recorded our last episode maybe about a year ago, so I don't want to assume everybody heard or remembers that one. So let's get into what you're doing over at Thrive Wealth Solutions. Tell us a little bit more about the business, please.
Well, I specialize really in that. At Thrive Wealth Solutions, we provide all the other services that people like to know about, where to invest. We do private and serious licensing, products that are necessary. But my specialty is really the proper corporate structure. And sometimes when we do a lot of gatherings and we go to, networking events, that's the number one question. What do you think I have the right structuring? I have an S corporation, a C corporation. I don't think people do the due diligence in the sense that there's a lot of options out there, and some are not what some people perceive to be. And so when I say about proper corporate structuring is that we need to see where the people's, individually where their goal is, eventually at the end. So you got to understand what that structuring is. And so our goal is to provide a lot of proper, and they need to be proper business owners. We show them how they can reduce their tax liability from 5% or less legally with full disclosure and filling all proper tax paperwork with the IRS. So there's no gimmicks. There's no, everything's completely, in line with what the IRS requires. And our law requires that we file taxes. It doesn't require that we have to pay 30-40% of our profit back to the IRS. So when you understand your laws and you understand how to apply those, that's very important. And that's where we come in. We provide that because when we provide this proper structure, you got more profit to invest in the right ways and match and meet whatever your long-term terms of retirement plans are. Because eventually I think we're all going to, in some way, wanted to retire. And that definition, retirement, means different to a lot of people. To me, retirement doesn't mean I'm never ever going to work, but I have the choice to either want to get up that morning and go earning $1, or if I don't need to because I've already put in place a system that provides that income coming in whether I get up or not.
That's awesome. And let's go further into that's a great transition. Let's go further into proper corporate structuring. So what does that mean to you?
Well, there's three, the most common ones you hear is, C corporation, S corporation, LLC, and then you have the sole proprietor. And so, in my opinion, I think that we have the trust. Now, the typical trust that I would say 90% of people have is what we call revocable trust. And because a lot of majority of advisors will say that a revocable trust is more flexible, so people can take it out, put it in, but that's no different than the trust that we provide. The trust that we provide are what we call irrevocable trusts, but the contract that these trusts are under the English common law, where the majority of other ones are what we call trust, and it's a corporate contract, which then abides to the state laws. And those are very different. And if you ask, would you want your trust to be under the federal law or under the state law? And as we are experiencing today, and especially this year, is that they've taken away a lot of write-outs. They've taken a lot of different things that people are benefiting from, especially small business owners. And if you were to have the trust that we're referring to, along with an LLC, because we still have to have an LLC and other structures, but on the side of that, you want to connect these trusts and then the second entity I'll be referring to is a private foundation. And that's been very common. If you look at the last 10 years, you hear Mark Zuckerberg, private foundation. He put that in place as soon as he started getting a lot of that stock. You can see he put in place a private foundation. So, and Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, these are multimillionaires. And one of the things that I personally experienced when I went to a seminar is that these were all tax attorneys, and they were referring, saying that, well, you have to have a minimum net worth, which is incorrect. We actually are setting up foundations, private foundation, with people that the average is about 100,000, right? And you don't need to have $1 million. You don't need to be a millionaire to have a private foundation. There's great benefits under that foundation, and and we're very, very flexible in providing it and educating our clients prior to even meeting with them or even speaking with them. Because we say, look, do your research, try and understand the benefits of the, because you have, under the IRS, you have two departments. You have the collection agency department, and you have the exemption department, which is where all the nonprofits are. And I'm sure you've come across a lot of books in the last 5 years about nonprofits. Well, a private foundation is a nonprofit. And there's a lot of benefits of you putting that in place, especially if you're a W-2 employee, and we can share what those benefits are, doing a one-on-one consultation. But there's a lot of benefits, and they just lack of knowledge. I think I always share with people the difference between someone making 100,000 and building a net worth of $1 million is just pure knowledge and having the right knowledge to implement it.
And so, where do you think that? So, I heard some of the concepts and strategies that you're mentioning. I've heard them in the past. So, do these fit? Because one thing that you did say that I wasn't aware of is that you said you don't have to have a huge net worth to do some of the strategies you're saying. So, some of these strategies, again, not everybody listening. You obviously have to talk directly to your financial advisor or give Mark a call, and you have to get individual advice. But generally speaking, Mark, so not putting you on the line there. But no. This can be appropriate for small business owners too?
Yes, absolutely. And so this, one thing I've learned is you build a team. I now, have work currently and actively working with a tax attorney. So when we meet, we talk about the structure. We also bring the tax attorney into the picture and talks about why this is right. And her and I have already clarified everything has to be legal and in the right trust. And yes, the net worth is relevant. See, Mara, I'm not your traditional financial advisor because, nothing against everybody's got their own goals and how they and what market they want to get into. But me, I'm very common. I like to work with the middle class and really help those individuals who are trying to build a net worth of $1 million. Yeah, great for the guys that already build $1 million, $2 million. That's not my market. My market is people that want to build it up to $1 million because I think the only thing that's stopping them to build that net worth is pure knowledge, and they can build it a lot faster by the knowledge that we provide. And I've already done my due diligence, and I was assured that we provide all the legal, I'm not a tax attorney, but I do work with the tax attorneys who's very familiar with what we work and the structures that we put in place. And that's why I think that these structures are more critical and vital to the people that are trying to build a net worth. And once you do that, I think you can expedite the process.
Man, that's exciting. So, Mark, if somebody is listening to this and they want more information on Thrive Wealth Solutions or to connect with you, what's the best way for them to follow up?
Find me on LinkedIn. I think is one of the best ways to connect with me, and I can provide you my phone number. Text me before you call me because I don't answer the calls unless you recognize the name or, they tell me that they've heard you through your podcast. If they're going to connect, you say, I heard you through the Torres podcast, and I'm going to be, just give me some kind of understanding that you've heard me, and then I'll get back to you as soon as possible and provide. What I do in the beginning is I provide that knowledge first. I like to educate my clients before we start talking about what their goals are and everything, because they'll have a good understanding of what we offer.
Man, that's exciting, Mark. Well, hey, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work you're doing to help our business owners and entrepreneurs out there. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast or the YouTube channel. So we're now on YouTube. I know some people like listening on YouTube. Definitely subscribe to that. Full audio is uploaded there. And leave us a review. Do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Mark, thanks again for coming on the show.
Adam, thank you very much for offering the opportunity to share this information with them. You have a great day.